on Sports Weekly, you'll see why ESPN is the total sports network. As we bring you boxing, Bowe battles Holyfield, basketball, day 2 of the NBA season, the Breeders' Cup, America's best day of racing, baseball, Maddox and McDowell are psyched up, and college football, the tide comes crashing down. Okay, just to review, here's what you'll see on Sports Weekly. Boxing, basketball, Breeders' Cup, baseball, college football, Charlie Ward, as well as golf, hockey, Michael Jordan in the NFL. If you want curling, you'll have to look elsewhere. But everything else is right here on Sports Weekly next.
Good morning, I'm Dick Schaap, and welcome to Sunday Sports Day, November 7th, 1993. 2 hours of news, views, reviews, and previews, highlights and sidelights, cheers and jeers. The sports world found out yesterday what the political world found out Tuesday. This is not a good year for incumbents. Alabama and Riddick Bowe, both reigning champions, both were turned out of office. Robin Roberts still reigns with us, however, ready to guide us through our opening hour, Sports Weekly. And Robin, which was the bigger upset? Whitman over Florio in New Jersey or Holyfield over Bowe in Las Vegas?
Politics and sports. Well, maybe Holyfield winning has taken the sting out of Atlantans not seeing the Braves go on to the World Series. But those fellas in Jersey, were they real heavyweights, Dick? Well, you were probably listening to some of the political pundits. They might have argued that point. All right then, Dick. We'll check with you throughout the morning. Thanks a lot. A little bit of everything in last night's rematch between Bowe and Holyfield. Many went on record as saying the former champ didn't have a prayer against the heavier Bowe, but they must have forgotten this is boxing and anything is possible, especially the unexpected. Charlie Steiner and Al Bernstein, world champs, were getting back up early this morning. And gentlemen, you saw quite an eyeful last night.
Indeed we did, Robin. If Evander Holyfield didn't have a prayer, somebody forgot to tell this deeply religious man who is once again the heavyweight champion of the world. This is the morning after in Las Vegas. The sun is just rising now and the cleanup has begun. It was a night that had virtually every emotion imaginable, from triumph to near tragedy, humor, victory, defeat, anticipation, anxiety, uncertainty, and graciousness. That's all we were dealing with last night as Holyfield once again became the heavyweight champion of the world, joining Muhammad Ali and Floyd Patterson as those few heavyweights in the history of the sport who have in fact regained the title. Let's go to the highlights of what happened last night. Indeed, a bizarre evening. This was the 4th round, which the real flurry began after the bell. A couple of cuts for Riddick Bowe, and this is the night of the parachutist. The 7th round, a fellow named James Miller came out of the sky at 1 minute and 10 seconds of the 7th round. He was then absolutely pummeled by fans at ringside. He would eventually be hospitalized. At the end of the fight, this is how it ended. Emmanuel Stewart tackling his man who would eventually become the new heavyweight champion of the world. Sweet revenge, indeed, a very close fight, a majority decision for Evander Holyfield, now the new heavyweight champion of the world, 51 weeks after surrendering the title to Riddick Bowe. After the fight, we talked with both fighters.
Tonight he was determined, you know, had him in trouble on several different occasions, and he was able to come back, you know. The judges feel like, you know, he edged out the decision, so I have to go along with them.
Emmanuel kept me on balance with the rhythm and, you know, made sure I stuck to the jab and worked everything off the jab, and that's what I got him in trouble. But, you know, Bowe showed good heart, and he was able to, you know, weather the storm.
Well, we've had about 20 minutes or a half hour to sleep on this fight from last night. Al Bernstein, of course, is joining us on the morning after. First, your initial reflections on last night.
You know, it's funny, as I was reflecting on what actually happened last night, I thought to myself, now, is somebody going to wake up this morning and say, boy, Evander Holyfield, well, he beat Riddick Bowe, but I guess Riddick Bowe was out of shape and maybe he wasn't motivated for this fight, and I don't know, was that really such a good win by Evander Holyfield? That's the kind of thing that happens to Holyfield. It's so hard for him to get his due respect. Well, I hope they do give him respect, because it was a terrific performance last night. And as I think back more on what Riddick Bowe did, it wasn't so much that he fought badly. I think it was just that Evander Holyfield was able to stick to his game plan, which he didn't do a year ago, Charlie, and he's able to use the natural skills that he has. And as I said last night, I think there's even more left in both these guys.
You know what was so remarkable about last year's fight was the reviews it received as the fight of the year. This one was, in fact, even better.
It might well have been because the skill level shown by especially Holyfield and to some degree Riddick Bowe, although he didn't fight the fight he wanted. There was spots in this fight where they both fought better than they did in the last one. I think they showed more skill and their technique was a little bit better. So yes, I thought this one was as good as the other one, if not better.
You know, unfortunately, what we're seeing more and more these days in sports, fans involving themselves in the event. Fans running on the football field or the baseball field. Last night we had a parachutist come out of the sky, and it created all sorts of havoc. It was unfortunate, especially for the fighters who trained so hard, and forget about the fans who paid their good money. And eventually, this fella, James Miller of Henderson, Nevada, was hospitalized. He was released from the hospital last night and then promptly arrested. He is in custody this morning, and we had reaction from both fighters to this.
Well, I seen somebody coming in the ring, and I'm like, and it kind of scared me a little bit because you know what happened to the girl in the tennis match. Somebody came out there and stabbed her. Right. My whole thing, and I'm trying to get out the way, but I'm trying to get out the way, make sure him try to hit me too.
When I saw Evander Holyfield bail out, and he was actually looking in the sky, and the referee got between us. And when I turned around and I saw the guy hanging there, I was rather shocked. I was very surprised.
Riddick Bowe's wife was hospitalized last night for a time. She fainted in the excitement. She is 3 months pregnant. And so we are happy to report this morning that Judy Bowe did not stay in the hospital overnight. She will be fine. And so too will Eddie Futch, the 83-year-old trainer of Riddick Bowe. He suffered some heart palpitations immediately after the fight. He was inspected at the hospital. He is okay this morning as well. We will be back throughout the morning, Al Bernstein and I, and coming up a little bit later this morning, we'll be sitting down with Rock Newman and Dan Duva and Evander Holyfield, among others. For now, for Al Bernstein, Charlie Steiner, we are live this morning from Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. Let's go back to Robin.
All right, guys, thanks for hanging in there. We'll check with you back with you later, as you said. Well, Holyfield is only the third heavyweight champion in history to regain the title from the man who beat him. The other two, Floyd Patterson and Muhammad Ali. Holyfield is in very impressive company there. To the NBA and late action from last night, the Seattle Supersonics were the only ones not to play opening night, which was Friday. Instead, the Sonics tipped off their season last night at home against the LA Lakers, the 1-0 Lakers, who beat Phoenix in their season opener. The Sonics came out flying. That's Sean Kemp with a monster reverse. He had 17 at the half. Sonics never pulled back on the throttle. Kemp swats it away. Gary Payton flies down court and then gives it over to Kendall Gill. Sonics win it 129-101, the 8th straight time the Sonics have beaten the Lakers on their home court. Sean Kemp, 30 points, 14 boards, leading 6 Sonics in double figures. And turning our attention to college football and an SEC battle between LSU and Alabama. Bama was more than a 3-touchdown favorite over the Tigers, and they took the nation's longest unbeaten streak into the game as well, but they didn't lead with it. Gene Stallings, problems at quarterback all day long. In the third, Bama down 7-0. Freshman Freddie Kitchens, who relieved Brian Bergdorf, is picked off by Ivory Hilliard, and he laterals to Torrey James. He returns at the Bama 42. That set up LSU's second touchdown. And in the fourth, 14-0 LSU, David Palmer gets it off to Terrence Lynch from 3 yards out, cuts the lead in half. But the next possession, Palmer's pass is picked off this time by Rodney Young. LSU holds on for the upset, 17-13, by far Curly Hallman's biggest win at LSU in 3 years. The 31-game unbeaten streak is over. The last time the Tigers beat Bama was 1988 on the same field. We are certainly glad you decided to join us again this Sunday morning. We have a lot to share with you over the next 2 hours. More from Vegas, also more college football, more Major League Baseball as they continue to hand out its postseason awards. And next, we'll head to the Post. Exciting Breeders' Cup action from Santa Anita, as many continue to vie for Horse of the Year honors. Also straight ahead, just because you've beaten the team 24 consecutive times does not mean the 25th time will be an easy one. Just ask the Cornhuskers. Back in a moment.
Sports Weekly is brought to you by Effidac 24, the first cold tablet for consistent 24-hour relief.
More action from Saturday, including returning to the hardwood, but we begin our Saturday wrap with yesterday's Breeders' Cup, Thoroughbred Racing's showcase event of the year from Santa Anita. And it was a great day of racing. We start with the nail biter and the distaff.
On the inside, Hollywood Wildcat is resolute. Hollywood Wildcat and Passiana striding to the line. Here's the finish, and it's Hollywood Wildcat.
Oh my, you heard the man. Hollywood Wildcat literally by a nose, making co-owner Jenny Craig, I kid you not, Jenny Craig, very happy. In the juvenile, one of the featured horses, De Hare, named after the former Seton Hall star, but in the stretch run, it was Bracco who pulled away to win by 3 lengths. De Hare finished a distant 8th. What about the classic, you say? Well, a classic upset in the classic. Here's a stretch call.
Here comes our king, a huge upset looming here as our king comes flying on the outside, and he runs by Bertrando, Kissing Chris. Here is our king to win it in an absolute shocker. He's 99 to 1 in the $3 million.
99 to 1. Well, no surprises in Orlando last night. Shaq, I should say, awesome, taking Sean Bradley to school for the slam. Shaq would take high percentage shots all night. Yeah, no doubt about that one. And Shaq finishes off his 36-point performance with, surprise, another slam. O'Neal, 16 of 22, magic win, 114-89. On the ice, Wayne Gretzky gets the assist on Tim Waters' first NHL goal. The Kings dump the Pens 8-3. And in Toronto, Felix Potvin, a nice glove save on the Greg Hargood slapper. Potvin with 28 saves, the Leafs win 5-3. And another wild Saturday in college football, complete with upsets and ties. Nebraska was in danger of experiencing both against Kansas, a team they had beaten 24 straight times. 14-all in the 4th. Husker quarterback Tommy Frazier rolls right and finds Trumaine Bell, the 11-yard touchdown. Nebraska takes a 7-point lead late in the game. Jayhawk running back June Henley gets into the end zone.
Sports Weekly is brought to you by EFIDAC 24, the first cold tablet for consistent 24-hour relief.
More action from Saturday, including returning to the hardwood, but we begin our Saturday wrap with yesterday's Breeders' Cup, Thoroughbred Racing's showcase event of the year from Santa Anita. And it was a great day of racing. We start with the nail biter and the distaff.
On the inside, Hollywood Wildcat is resolute. Hollywood Wildcat and Passiana striding to the line. Here's the finish, and it's Hollywood Wildcat.
Oh my, you heard the man. Hollywood Wildcat literally by a nose, making co-owner Jenny Craig, I kid you not, Jenny Craig, very happy. In the juvenile, one of the featured horses, De Hare, named after the former Seton Hall star, but in the stretch run, it was Bracco who pulled away to win by 3 lengths. De Hare finished a distant 8th. What about the classic, you say? Well, a classic upset in the classic. Here's a stretch call.
Here comes our king, a huge upset looming here as our king comes flying on the outside, and he runs by Bertrando, Kissing Chris. Here is our king to win it in an absolute shocker. He's 99 to 1 in the $3 million.
99 to 1. Well, no surprises in Orlando last night. Shaq, I should say, awesome, taking Sean Bradley to school for the slam. Shaq would take high percentage shots all night. Yeah, no doubt about that one. And Shaq finishes off his 36-point performance with, surprise, another slam. O'Neal, 16 of 22, magic win, 114-89. On the ice, Wayne Gretzky gets the assist on Tim Waters' first NHL goal. The Kings dump the Pens 8-3. And in Toronto, Felix Potvin, a nice glove save on the Greg Hargood slapper. Potvin with 28 saves, the Leafs win 5-3. And another wild Saturday in college football, complete with upsets and ties. Nebraska was in danger of experiencing both against Kansas, a team they had beaten 24 straight times. 14-all in the 4th. Husker quarterback Tommy Frazier rolls right and finds Trumaine Bell, the 11-yard touchdown. Nebraska takes a 7-point lead late in the game. Jayhawk running back June Henley gets into the end zone.